But nonetheless, so what does this mean for LeBron? Does it mean he's going to get more money?
I think so. He's definitely going to get more money. And he has, of course, broken a world record. And he's now the top scorer in the NBA.
Wow.
Of all time, actually. I think, of all time. Top scorer of all time.
Wow,
beating Michael Jordan.
Quite amazing.
And everybody else.
So I guess, he has left very large basketball shoes to be filled.
Very, very
from
large.
those who will follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steph Curry, where are you?
I know, but Steph Curry was very supportive. He even recorded a message, congratulating him. Other artists, Drake, Rihanna, and all those other people were telling him, congratulations, blah, 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 black excellence. You know the whole thing, the whole speech. Good for him.
So if you like the Korean group BTS, they have a song called Dynamite, and in it they sing about LeBron. So in the first verse, there's a line that goes, "I sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top, LeBron."
Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top, LeBron.
So who knows? They might send him a shout too.
They should.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. But anyway, I do have a bit of news for you.
Please share.
Now that we're here talking about what's trending and popping. Leonardo DiCaprio, Hollywood star. He's been seen out with a 19-year-old model who people are now speculating is his latest girlfriend.
Yes, her name is Eden Polani.
Now, of course, the jokes write themselves. He's been getting trolled for the past year or so about
having a type
and having an age limit.
Yeah.
Like anytime he's dating a girl and she reaches 25, boom, that's it. Her days are numbered. Usually within weeks she's dumped, right? And usually
exchanged, perhaps. I think that's
swapped.
the word. Swapped
for a younger model. But typically he likes them younger. He will rarely ever be seen dating someone around his age.
That is a very, very odd thing
this
to
one,
say.
If this girl is actually his girlfriend, she will be the youngest one yet.
Well, he has gone from under 25 to now under 21, and it's very, for me, it's starting to feel, kind of suspicious.
And not only to you, a number of people on social media have been calling him creepy. They think this smacks of being a predator.
Yes.
And that's a bit extreme.
No, I don't think it's extreme. He's 48. She's old enough to be his daughter.
She wasn't even born when Titanic came out.
Thank you. She's old enough to be his daughter. That is very, very suspicious.
But the fact is, if she is above 18, legally, there's no questions.
No, Fatboy, please. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
And have you noticed that it's only
type stuff.
Okay, so as a man who's older, I'll say this: it's normally just older women who throw shade at guys who date younger girls.
Can I ask you a question?
Because I think there's a bit of envy. Because if you are a woman. If you are a woman in your 40s and 30s and you think you'd like to meet a nice man, typically the man you want to meet is around that age, 30s and 40s. You probably may not want a man that older than that because then you're entering into geriatric territory. A man who is in his 30s and 40s is young enough to have fun and is probably accomplished enough to have some money. So in other words, he's an ideal partner. Except now you start to find that these guys want the younger women. So you as a 40-year-old woman, what are you to do? You are to throw shade at the men who will date the younger women. Shame them into dating women closer to you in age than the younger ones.
Let me say this. An older man who wants to date younger is probably a reject of his peers. Number 2, ever had the saying, a fool at 40? And number 3... You have a daughter, a fool at 40.
A fool?
A fool at 40 will always just remain a fool, because these are probably people who just do not want to grow up and probably have some complexes.
So how come
that they do not want to be, held accountable for?
How come you weren't saying that?
And lastly, Fatboy, you have a beautiful girl right now. Would you be okay if she came home at the age of 18 and say, "Daddy, my boyfriend is 48 years old"?
Well, she'd be old enough to make her own choices.
Wow, you say that right now. You say that right now.
But let's be fair. Let's be fair, Sarah. Here's the thing. A lot of us older guys, we found when we were younger, when we were like 18, 19, 20, the girls we loved and had crushes on and wanted to make our girlfriends didn't want us. We entered university and they were all dating guys that had jobs in the corporate world.
And that is okay.
Business. Exactly. So it seems like a double standard where it's okay for young girls to pursue older men or relationships with older men, but then the older men, when they want to date the younger ladies, are shamed for it. So it's okay for the lady to want to date an older man. It is celebrated as her being mature and confident in who she is and what she wants. But a man, God forbid, at age 40 wants to date a woman who's 20,
who is 18.
Then he doesn't know what he wants. He's insecure, he's creepy, he's a predator.
No, the
Doesn't
thing
make
is
sense.
that, and even in your own words, you said that you or men your age, like young girls who are way younger, under 25, because they're easier to manipulate. And that's where my problem is because you men go on, some men, I'm going to correct myself, some men go on to get girls who are impressionable and ruin them, manipulate them, and then turn them into women that they say they hate. So why are you contributing to create women you hate?
Who says we hate, but we don't hate them?
You said you don't want an older woman because you say they're bitter, they're angry, they're this, they're not going to let you get away with your shenanigans. But you helped create them because you went for girls who were younger and you manipulated them and you took advantage of their innocence because they were easier to control, and you only go into the relationship because it is for your benefit. And then, like you have also always said, all you have to do is provide money. You do not have to even be a decent person. You only just have to give her money. And then because you're giving her money, you are ignoring her needs. You're not listening to her. You're not being just a good person to this lady. And you use her. She turns 25. You swap her for the next young thing. And now see, it's a vicious cycle. You're creating women that you say you do not want to date. And yet you are contributing to making these women. So for me, that is where my problem is. So if an older man was like, I want to date a younger girl, and you stick with her, you marry her, you empower her, you help her grow, I will not have a problem with that. But the thing is, you want to swap them. It's like when you have old currency notes and then you go to the bank and then you swap them for new notes. I'm not digging that. So for me, that's why my problem is.
You don't believe that people should be free? You don't believe that grown-ups should be free to make choices about how they wish to live? Some people don't want long-term relationships.
Some people, that's the thing.
Isn't that okay?
That is
Isn't that allowed?
It is to your advantage because you're taking advantage of somebody else.
But isn't it allowed?
It is not
Do you
allowed.
put a gun to someone's head to make them date you?
That's the thing. You are telling these girls, you're not telling them that this is a short-term thing. You're telling these girls and making them believe and think that they're going to be, you basically making them believe that you are the alpha and omega, you're the one who loves them and whatnot. And then yet the poor girl doesn't know that the minute she gets older, you're going to swap her. That's what my problem is. People have a right to live their life. People have a right to live their life anyhow they want. But when you're going to do it at the expense of another person, and you want to do it because this person is naive, this person probably doesn't know any better, that is wrong. That is foul.
But I've always wanted to bring this up with you. I feel like it's a dangerous road you're walking on to keep alleging that girls or women of that age, 25 and below, are so easily manipulated.
They really are.
Because listen, you're doing women no favors, I'm sorry to say. Because why then not just strip them of the right to vote? If you're saying that they can't be expected to be responsible for personal decisions they make above a certain age, that if they make a decision, it should be assumed that it was not of their own volition, or they didn't think clearly, or they didn't understand the issue, let's not have young women vote. Right women should not be voting. Or young women should not be driving. Young women should not be occupying positions of responsibility.
That is not what I'm saying.
In companies.
You are deflecting and you're gaslighting. What I'm saying, even you, as a man who likes to date younger, you're still going to go for a vulnerable girl. You're not going to go for, because there are younger girls who are super smart, who come from families where they who come from families where they are loved, taken care of, and their parents set good examples. They have positive role models around them, and they are aware of men who want to come and take advantage of them. You men are going to go for girls who probably come from a single parent home, girls who are probably struggling through school and don't have school fees, girls who have probably been victims of different circumstances, and then you're going to come knight in shining armor and make her think that you are going to correct every wrong that has ever happened to her. Because I'm not saying all young women are naive, but
so
you
what's
men
your complaint?
are predators.
What are you complaining about?
My issue again is, like I have been saying this, is that it is wrong if you're going to do whatever you want at the expense of another person, and then you're going to go on to create women that you say you detest and cannot date. It is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. Don't do that. Be a decent person. I think you're being too idealistic.
No, because the fact is, there are just as many women who are in their 30s and 40s, single mothers, who are in a desperate situation.
Because men have put them in that position.
Okay, but hold on.
Single mothers probably got pregnant in their 20s.
My point is...
For men in their 40s who wanted younger girls.
Let me make this point. In just the same way that a 25-year-old woman may believe in love and is so idealistic and is easily led to believe in a happy future, whereas the man could be lying. Similarly, a single mother who maybe doesn't enjoy very many good romantic prospects, if she meets someone halfway decent, he will also most likely tell her lies just so that he can exploit her, either financially, sexually. And there's many single mothers who you see crying, having been manipulated, your favorite word, and used by men who promised them the earth and the moon, and because they were desperate for love, they have kids, they went for it. I'm saying manipulation has no age limit. Anyone can do it, and anyone can be a victim of it. Right?
That argument is correct, but what we are talking about right now is older men who are middle-aged. You're half of 100 years old and you want to date a 19-year-old. Shame on you.
But
shame on you. That girl is old enough to be your daughter.
Okay, so why aren't you shaming the girls who are dating the older men? Shame yourself for dating older guys when you were young. When you were on campus, when you were at university, you weren't dating guys who had jobs?
Let me tell you, when I was in campus, I had one boyfriend who I was with for 8 years, and my boyfriend was 2 years older than me.
Okay, I used the wrong word. Not boyfriend, but sugar daddy.
Never had a sugar daddy because my father was present.
Really?
My father
Don't make me look for receipts.
Look for them all you want. My father was present in my life. My father loved me. He was there. I didn't need a sugar daddy at all. Both my parents were there. I did not need one. So this is how you men... Sugar daddy, what? You see how you go for vulnerable girls? You see?
Everyone, we're all human beings.
A girl who has her parents in her life and they take care of her does not need a sugar daddy. Or a boy who has his parents involved and taking care of him do not need a sugar mommy. So that is where... Then you actually, thank you for just... proving my point correct. You guys are going to go for vulnerable people.
But you see, everyone can look.
No one needs a sugar daddy if they're already receiving.
You don't think a man who is old and rich is also not vulnerable? You don't think he's also lacking love in his life and that it is easy to manipulate him? How many old men have you seen sacrificing a fortune upon the promise of love from a woman for a 19-year-old? There's so many billionaires. What was her name? Anna Nicole Smith, a Playboy model.
She was not 19. She was like in her, what, 20, her late 20s?
Yeah, but then she married a guy who's like 90, so the age gap is even bigger than Leonardo and this new girl.
Because that old dying man had money and he wanted to give her. He was basically buying her.
He was in love.
He was not in love.
He was just so terrified of being alone, and she was there and she's like, honey, I love you. Everyone knew she was lying, of course.
He was not in love with her because
but he bequeathed all his wealth to this woman. How is that not manipulation?
No, he never, by the way, she never inherited from him. She signed a prenup.
Did she?
FYI.
Anna Nicole
Smith did not get anything.
She got some money.
She only have small allowances, but she did not get anything.
My point is, Sarah, this is a cruel world. Everyone's out looking out for themselves. And
no, let's not do that.
If you as a woman want things you want from a guy, for whatever reason, it's not my place to judge you for it.
No.
It's not for me to judge your dating preferences and choices.
I'm not that kind of person. Yeah? I'm a decent human being. And
this is discrimination. Ageism. This is bigotry.
That is just suspicious. You're comfortable sleeping with somebody old enough. You're old enough to be her father.
So
Matter
what?
of fact, you're old enough to be a grandfather to her children. And you're comfortable laying with this girl, and then you're going to swap her just because she has gotten a year older.
But she's
That
of
is
legal
the- that
age.
is
Like
the-
what? I
no.
don't understand the problem. So
No.
listen to me.
That's not right.
Physically, this person is at least capable. That's no argument, right? At 19, someone is physically capable of a sexual relationship, a consensual sexual relationship.
God.
Secondly, at 19, this person in most countries has the right to vote and choose leaders of a nation.
But
the person can obtain a driver's license. The person can seek employment. I mean, there are so many other responsibilities
Fatboy,
this person is entitled to.
Let me go on what you have just
Why are you
said.
excluding just one aspect of her life for which she has no agency?
Let me go on exactly. Let me just follow up with what you have said. They have the right to vote. Please, let's look at our leaders. Number 2, are they making good decisions?
So they should stop voting.
They have a right to drive. How many drivers on the road are actually good drivers? If everybody who was able to drive was driving well, we wouldn't be having road accidents now, would we?
So
you see,
are you making an argument
my thing is that
for stripping rights from 19-year-old girls?
And 19-year-old boys. My argument is that we just have a lot of legal adults and not mature people. That is it. At what age do our brains actually start to properly develop? There are people even still in their 30s who are still trying to figure out life. You understand? So you can't say that just because you're legally of age means that you are mature in the brain. Let's not do that. That is wrong.
But also older women are really a headache.
Stop creating these problematic women. And I say that in quotes.
Did you see that Ben Affleck video at the Grammys?
Stop creating
where he's
these
trying to flirt with
women, as you're saying.
Did you see the video where Ben Affleck was at the Grammys with his wife Jennifer Lopez, and I think he was trying to have a tender moment flirting with her. He was trying to whisper in her ear or something, and then she sort of just pushes him away and has a very stern look to her face like, dude, don't even, stop embarrassing me. She had that whole vibe, and then afterwards he looks like really disappointed and sad, and it's just that's what you get when you date women who are old. They're very stubborn.
They're not stubborn. That was not the time or the place.
But a younger lady would have been like, oh honey, yay.
Yeah, because she's afraid of you. Because if you refuse, you're probably going to beat her up
because
or cut
she's
her
normal.
allowance.
She has a good heart.
Because you're going to cut her allowance. She's scared of you, so she can't
She's
say no.
not going to be making you look stupid at the Grammys. But anyway,
start acting right, okay?
Thank you so much, Sarah, for letting us know what's popping. We are wishing Leonardo DiCaprio and everyone else in search of love the best in this month of February, the month of love.